Hello, everybody. YouTube says I'm live, so I hope I am. It's good to have you here with me at Wood Spun Round. Got an interesting project today. Let me show you first who is who my helper is. It's Queen Ruby. Hey, Ruby. So
All by
glad you're with us.
myself.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Wayne's got some family stuff he's got to deal with, and then Todd's still dealing with his family. So it's just Ruby and I today, and that's okay. We're going to have a grand time. If I switch over to this view, what you see on the lathe is a piece of wood. What kind of wood? I don't know. Um,
It's
some of the
fog,
grain,
fogwood.
it is fogwood for sure. Um, the guy who supplied it knows what it is. He is a tree hugger, knows every tree on his property. Um, However, this piece, I thought I was told it was cypress. It's not cypress. The grain looks more like oak in some places. Some places it looks like it could be possibly sycamore. It's got some nice spalting in it, but this is going to be a piece to return back to him for thanks for the slab. I got three other pieces. Depending on how nice this one turns out, I may uh, hang on to the rest of them for myself. Then again, if it's not very nice, I may very well burn it all. So, anyway, I'm going to get started. I've already sharpened my gouges. I'm on a worm screw. I've already tested. My lathe is set at 845 RPMs right now. We're going to get started, and Ruby's going to read off who all's in the chat for us today.
Okay, so first in this evening was Paul Norfolk Hunter, followed by Ron Todd, Alex the Wood Butcher, Norman Greenwell, Michael McEwen. Let's see, scrolling down. Todd at Glen Cove, Doug Bennett, Thomas Kenny, Haley, um, Dale Old Man River, Bert's Bowles, Malcolm Douglas, Anthony Green, Mike Dances with Aardvark, Tim Ponder, and that's all I have on my list. If I've missed anyone, I apologize, and you're all welcome anyway. Thanks for coming in with us.
Yeah, welcome every one of you. Um, One change this week that we haven't had for a while. I've got my full face shield on again. Uh, I did. I had ordered a new set of shields to go in it, and they came lickety split. I was real happy about that, but I was too trifling to actually put them in the holder. So been working without it
And
and missing it.
Dale has put out a reminder to click on the thumbs up button, folks. Please do.
Thank you, Dale.
You know, the nice thing about watching you turn, Doug, is that I get my turning fix and I don't have to clean up afterwards.
Ah, that's good. Something felt strange, and I thought maybe my tool had come loose from my handle, but it has not.
Well, last week was a little rough because every time I turned, um, I had Maggie dog, and she was very good at bringing the shavings upstairs with her.
Mm,
So it's not just clean the basement, then I have to vacuum the rest of the house.
right.
And Roger Kent has joined us.
Hey,
Yeah, folks,
Roger.
if you look at that piece on the top end grain, you can really see the spalting lines.
Yeah, all those dark lines are spalt lines. That that's some beautiful. Well, it's washed out there. Plus, I'm on a well, yeah, I'm on the end grain or end view instead of top view. But there's real nice spalting in this piece of wood. Um, I'm hoping it's going to be very pretty. I still turning into it. I'm still thinking it's oak.
I don't think so. And Zed's joined us. Hi, Zed.
Go ahead and put your link in, Zed. It's dry as a bone. I can tell you that.
And Mike says he's never seen oak with that patterning under the bark. And
This is
I agree with him.
yeah. This is the bark side. Um, when I had the two cut ends that I've turned away now, you could really see the medullary rays. In fact, their medullary rays are showing up in right through here, really nice. All right, keep going, keep going.
Well, Zed is asking, did you know that 90% of bald men still own a comb? He figures they just can't part with them. I think you're right, Zed. Now that was a nice cut, Doug. You can really see where you're riding the bevel.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things when you're doing a smaller bowl like this, you can use every cut as a practice cut. Um, who was it? Oh, Russ Fairfield used to talk about making every cut a practice cut.
I kind of agree with that philosophy.
Yeah, yeah,
And Paul just said, Doug, with your face mask, your voice sounds like the moon landings of '69.
yes, yes. It sounds odd to me too, especially after the last few weeks not having it. But it definitely feels safer.
And Scott Hampton's joined us. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Well, I do have to say, I like the weather we're getting these days.
Oh my. Yes, the weather here has been phenomenal. Um, well, the temperature's not up right now. It'll come up here in just a minute. It feels like a fall day here. Um, just a
Well,
wonderful fall day.
it went in the 40s last night, but it's 74 right now.
Yeah, we're not that cool at night yet.
Well, I brought my outdoor plants in so that you can see some of the trees have already gotten frost on them.
Okay. Yeah, we're still a little washed out on that top view. But there again, there's that spalting along the grain lines. I was looking to see if maybe I could zoom in a little closer. Um, this definitely, this looks so much like oak to me. Um, pretty sure that's what we're at, what we got. I'm gonna go just a little bit smaller on this tenon. Not much.
Scott says they're having cooler weather too. It's only 84 today,
Mm, mm.
whereas last week's been in the hundreds.
Wow.
You can keep the hot weather, Scott. I prefer winters. Up here in Canada, we only have two seasons. We have winter and we have construction.
That's yes. I'm getting so tired of road construction.
Well, I wouldn't mind it if they didn't do all the streets at the same time. Like, take all those crews and put them on one place and get it done right away.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it?
Well, it's obviously not a woman arranging it. That's the problem. And Alex says that in England they have 365 seasons a year.
Still got a flat spot and some checking and whatnot. So we'll take all
Zed,
this.
Zed says that where he lives, 78 is a heat wave.
Northern California's Ed. I'm trying to think of three things at once. My total curve, where I want a foot, and where I think I'm gonna put a little bit of a rim on this.
Think too about the size of your bottom of the bowl, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there now. That last cut made a big difference.
Zed says he's in the central area.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For me personally, if I think about the foot early enough and prepare for it, then um, I can go ahead and get things squared away. So yeah, I don't have. I know what Ruby's laughing about. I don't have as much worry about going through the bottom. Um, if there's my foot, okay, okay, we're where I want to be, I think. But I do want to give a nice smooth cut coming up through here.
And Enchanted Wood Designs has joined us.
Hey,
Welcome.
Kevin. Ah, much better, much better. Yeah. Go
Are
ahead and
you
give
getting
my.
any? Are you getting any tear out?
Nope. Nope. No tear out.
So even though you've got the spalting, it hasn't disintegrated that much.
Right. Right. Before it goes too punky.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just lines. I mean, I've got some nice tiger stripe lines right through there. They're just as black as they can be against that white wood. But then we've got the division of the colonies there, which which is what most of us think about. Real nice
It's not oak.
division going through here. Man, I'm really liking this. I'll hit this top just a little bit so I can see very clearly where my top will be, so that I make this more of a bead instead of a
Well, I got a nice message the other day on Messenger from a student of mine. Um, he was commenting how severely he's now addicted to turning, that he can't go by any logs that anyone has on the ground out front of their place without bringing them home.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
And I told him part of the addiction is you become a wood hoarder.
Yep. We were traveling through the countryside last Sunday, and there was a tree down in somebody's yard. Connie said, "There's a bunch of bowls." Ah,
And
she who was going to let me build a shed or shop. She wants a shed for all of the lawn and garden stuff. I want a shop that's bigger than what I got. So both may end up happening. I think I can build a lawn and garden shed pretty inexpensively
and
too.
Gab has joined us.
Hey, Gab,
Welcome, Gab.
glad to see everybody in. I failed to say welcome a while ago, but welcome to every one of you. I really do appreciate it. Uh, I, I needed last week. I needed this week. So I appreciate you all being a part of the chat and coming along during the live. I appreciate the folks who watch it later, but during the live, it just we can interact, have a little bit of community. There are just some weeks where that's needed more than others, and last week and this week were both weeks I needed that community.
Well, everyone that's watching sort of becomes part of the family, and it's always nice
Exactly.
to connect with them.
Yes, exactly.
Now, Zed says when he looks at trees, he sees bowls, vases, and candlesticks all stacked up.
Yep, I know what you're saying. Point one thing out here while before we get started. You can there you go.
Ooh,
You can see
isn't
how
that
wide the
pretty?
I'm sorry?
That's gorgeous.
Oh, the spalting? Yeah, yeah. That tiger stripe spalting in there is just it's fantastic. But we also have the divisions. That's what I was talking about a while ago. The change from this wood to this wood and back as the different colonies of the fungus
Hmm.
is setting up their territory. There's another one there where it goes
Yeah.
from basically that to that to that. But I wanted to point out I did not get my tenon quite as small as I should. It needed to be just a hair smaller. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not going to try to save this tenon. It's going to go away. But ideally, if I wanted to use this tenon as my foot, I would want that gap to be about half of that, maybe even just a touch less. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. Not not a major thing, but if you want to save your tenon, use it as your foot. You want to get that. You want to get your jaws to as close of a perfect circle as possible, which means this gap needs to be an eighth of an inch or maybe even a little less.
Hmm.
All right, getting up close to center.
Now,
See, it's about
Alex
where I want
says
it.
he collects wood to use for heating, but the only problem is too much of it goes into the store rather than the firewood pile.
All right, because we got all the balancing done on the outside, I'm able to raise my speed up to 1650. So,
Well, I was a nice neighbor. I took some of the badly cracked pieces and I piled them up next to my neighbor's house so he has a ready store of firewood.
hmm.
And Heather's joined us. Hi, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
By the way, Heather, I'll be demonstrating at the Waterloo Club next week, and I'll definitely be at the Hamilton Wood Show.
The Hamilton show's about the biggest one in Canada, isn't it?
The Hamilton and the Toronto show.
Okay, yeah.
They're not as big as they used to be, but
Yeah, I don't know that any of them are. I think they've all gotten a bit smaller.
well, some of the major companies sort of dropped out being part of it, and that hurt.
Right, right.
Now, Paul says that it's a pleasure being part of your live stream, Doug.
Well, Paul, I'm glad you're here.
Now, is that a finisher you're using?
No, this is the #1 follower.
Okay. And Zed's informed us that scientists have invented a meter for measure of how good a dad joke is. They call it the seismograph. That's a good one, Zed. And Heather was thinking of going to the Hamilton show, but the Toronto show is closer. The Hamilton show is in the third weekend of November, and the Hamilton or the Toronto show is going to be in January. That way, if you don't get what you want before Christmas at the Toronto show, you can get it.
So put the good stuff on your list. Okay, those last couple cuts, I was looking from above, looking down so I could see the outer rim as well as the inside.
And I guess Jason's ears were burning. He's joined us. Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
We were talking about you just before Doug went live.
Yeah, all good. Put that tool away, come back to my bowl gouge. I've pretty well got the wall where I want it. I need to thin out the bottom just a touch. And all the bottom.
Well, we appreciate Jay getting up so early in the morning to join us.
Absolutely.
It's about 5:22 a.m. there.
That's early.
That's what time I've been starting my days this week. It's amazing how much you can get done first thing in the morning. Leaves lots of time for an afternoon nap.
Oh, that's a fact. All right, just need to clean up here, just a finishing cut.
Now, Doug, you've only been live for 22 minutes and you're giving Wayne a run for his money.
That's what that #1 hardware will do for you.
Yes.
It just eats the wood out from the inside of that bowl in no time.
And Heather says she starts a big Christmas vendor show on the last weekend of November. And it's 3 weekends in a row, 4 days each week. We don't have any that big down here. The big problem I found with craft shows down our way is that they charge so much for you to have a table, and you can't have someone else with you, that it means it's not profitable. And Jay says that he's a half hour behind that time, so it's actually 4:50 there in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
And Mike says that by 5:20 he's been at work for an hour already.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're my kind of man, Michael.
I've been having to be at the work at 6 a.m. So I'm up at 4:30 ish, and that's way too early. Way too early. All right,
Yeah.
got what I can with that. So I've got to do it by hand.
Well, Gab suggested that Jay take lots of coffee, and Jay says that he's already had a shipload. Now, the show that Heather's doing is called First Light at Sainte Marie among the Hurons in Medlin, and that there are about 3,000 people that come through every night, busloads from Toronto too.
Wow,
We'd be
that's
lucky if we got half that many in an entire weekend.
I don't know
And
if I don't know if you folks are aware. I've been having issues with my dust collector. It just wasn't picking up the dust.
yep,
I was having I would I could have it if I could get everything out of the way. Anyway, I could have it this close, if not a little closer, and I was still having dust collect on my bedways. So I didn't understand why. Well, opened up the where the hose goes into the collector just a while ago, and there was a paper towel, two or three pieces of sandpaper, and wads of shavings, big long shavings. They had collected up right at the entrance. That's where my that's where all my vacuum was being lost. So now I think it's all going down the collector now.
and Tony Turns Wood and Billy Bird have both joined us.
All
Welcome, both
right.
of
Hey
you.
guys, glad to have you along.
Well, I have on my one lathe, I have a Camvac dust extractor, and I purchased from Steve Carvel, SK Crafts in England, the upgrade to it for. And once I put that on, my golly, yeah, I have to be really careful because if my hand gets too close, it'll pull my arm right into it.
Yeah, yeah.
The power is just unreal. And Holland Woodworks has joined us. I believe that's Tony. Welcome.
Oh, Holland. Okay, yeah. Hey guys. Oh me. It is so nice to have the dust actually going down my dust extractor.
Rather than into your lungs?
Yeah. Well, even just collecting on the bedways. It's
Well, especially when it's spalted wood.
yeah. Well, you spend money on a dust collector and it does great. Then all of a sudden you realize it's not doing so great. It's always good to know there's a good reason why. There's two modifications I'm going to make on it though, probably over the winter. One is I'm going to get it's got a bag on the top, and I'm going to change that to a canister. Um, this particular model was discontinued so that they could bring one out with a canister. And I'm thinking the canister will fit on this without any problem. An easy connection. And that should help. The other thing I want to do is I've got this. It looks like dryer hose. It's not. It's for vacuum, so it's much smoother on the inside than dryer hose is. But I'm going to change it to um, the black drain pipe and go overhead with it. And I'll have a short, probably maybe a 3 foot piece of this hose on the end of that that'll connect onto this thing so that I can move this around. It won't be static.
Yeah, a screen on the front end of that would help with big pieces getting lodged to it.
Yeah, screen on the big end of it. The other thing I thought of, and that I mentioned to Ruby earlier, I'm going to do a little more research before I invest in it, but to do a separator over right in front of the dust collector. So I'll have my hosing going over or piping going across and into the separator, and then it'll go from the separator directly into the dust collector, or just a screen. Um, like I said, I want to do a little more research on that part of it, but yeah, just a piece of something small, some small screen, not not screen door screen. That is tremendously stronger than it was. Tremendously.
You wouldn't do that with mine right now, believe me.
Well, I'm keeping my fingers spread when I do it, so it can't, it's drawn in enough, even with my fingers spread. It's crazy.
Heather says that show she's doing is only 5 hours every evening, and they light up the whole Indian village with thousands of candles. It's
Wow.
absolutely beautiful to see. There's
I bet.
singing, storytelling, making bannock, and lots of other stuff.
Cool.
That would, that would be fun. That would be a fun show to do.
There is one similar to that here in Cincinnati. It's 4 or 5 hours a night, but I can't remember if they said it was it may be 6 nights a week. And you have to show up. I think it's 6 nights a week, and you have to show up at least five of those, I
Mm,
believe is how it works. Um, they talk about the people who are accepted in sell quite a bit,
yeah.
but every year they're advertising for new vendors. So
Now, Jay says he's turning an English walnut bowl at the moment.
very cool.
And Tony says he added a cheap separator to his vacuum system.
Yeah.
And Zed says he found a centrifugal separator for his that works pretty well.
I tell you, one of the things I thought about making was one of those two-stage separator things. One of the companies makes them, and they're quite expensive. But you can make one yourself. Um, it's almost like a shaping everything, um, kind of like a jet engine. So the wind force actually picks up as it goes through it. Pretty
And
crazy.
Billy says he loves his super dust deputy.
Yeah.
And Turned in Australia has joined us and says, Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Reese. I believe that's right, isn't it? Isn't it
Correct.
Reese?
Yes, it is Reese.
Rhys. I even know how to spell it.
That's pretty good for a guy.
It's pretty good for me. Period. I'm the guy that spells cat K-A-T and dog D-A-W-G. Wonder where those came from.
No idea.
Kentucky Wildcat K-A-T and Georgia Bulldog D-A-W-G. Can't tell you where I grew up, can I?
And Todd says it finally cooled off enough around where he is to start woodworking again. He glued up segments for 7 rings yesterday and sanded them flat this morning, then started
Okay.
turning the bottom this afternoon. Good for you,
Sounds
Todd.
good. Sounds real good.
Dale
All right.
says that his dust collector quit working. He doesn't have the funds to replace it or the know-how how to fix it. Well, if I was there, I'd try and help you, but you're a little farther than I can reach.
All right. Now I can turn this big noisemaker off. It's not any quieter, even though I cleared that hose. Not a bit quieter. In fact, it may be just a touch louder, but it sure sucks the dust up better. This is where the fun begins.
And Andy's joined us.
Andy Bundy Row.
And Billy says that he hasn't been in the shop in almost a month, and he's hoping his wife's knee will be well enough for him to go his own way soon.
There you go. Yeah. Hope that knee's coming along pretty well.
And Todd says he's doing another Beads of Courage bowl for his club.
Very good. All right,
Oh,
folks.
look at the grain on that, folks. Isn't that gorgeous? It almost looks like a skull on the inside.
It's still got some wet and dry spots, but I'm still thinking that's oak.
I don't think so.
I'm not seeing anything that says sycamore.
No, that's not sycamore either.
No, it's definitely not sycamore. Let that spin for just a second so it can dry.
Yeah, Zed thinks it's a cyclops skull too. And Alex says his record dust collector gave up the ghost when he went to use it, so he gave up turning and recently decided to go whole hog and buy a big Axminster one with cyclone.
Okay. Yeah, the new Axminster is a good one.
Yeah. Alex, you should look at that upgrade that SK Crafts makes for the Camvax. They really do work extremely well.
A little bit of sanding sealer.
Jay says he thinks it might be some type of elm.
Hmm.
And a few people are saying they think it's oak, but I don't. I've seen a lot of oak and just doesn't look like it. Regardless, I agree with Turned in Australia. He's pretty sure it's wood.
Yeah. And I'd say for sure it's tree wood.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
After that, I'm lost. The graining going through here, the little tiny graining that y'all can't see from there, that's oak looking to me. Um,
Well, if it's real tiny, that would be more toward a beech line. And Billy
wow.
says he bets it even grew on a tree.
Yeah. The spalting going around the grain is that's just wonderful. That's fabulous stuff there. And the spalting where it's making the colony lines, that's great too. See, I can get rid of that face shield now. Can't believe how much dust built up on it.
Now, Zed says that they say that money doesn't grow on trees, but if that's true, why do banks have branches?
Good point.
Tony suggests it might be coffee tree. And that's a possibility, Tony. I've turned some, and now that you mention it, it could be.
Little Axe abrasive paste. It's got some green color to it because last time I used it was on that big green salad bowl.
And
But that it won't.
Mike
It
Evans
won't.
has joined us,
Hey, Mike.
and Bailey Woodworks has joined us.
All right. Chris is wasting time at work. All right. I'll leave that little piece of Scotch Brite in that jar. That's what I apply with. It just gives that little extra bit of abrasion while I'm
Now,
putting it on.
so is that Axe paste that you put on?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. That's my Axe. It doesn't need the Scotch Brite, but I just use it because I like it. So it's a good way of applying. Um, a little bit of green, but all of it's coming out as at least I hope it is. I think it is all coming off. It's just some green that was in the Scotch Brite. All right.
Hmm.
This is I like using the abrasive paste. I sand up to 240. Then I can turn the dust collector off. I'm not making any more dust, but this will take me from the 240 all the way up to 1,000 grit. Just raise my speed up to 340. Went from 240 to 340, and I'm still using the same area on my paper towel that I started with. I'll speed up one more time before I start changing my paper towel area. But this is, I can feel and hear the grit breaking down. It's getting finer and finer. Really, most of your abrasive paste do the same. They work under the same general principle. They use, depending on which brand you use, they use different carriers. They use different abrasives. Um,
So I think most of them are using beeswax as a carrier,
that's
but yeah,
part of it. Yeah,
different abrasives that are ground into it.
right. Um, bees sometimes they'll use a couple of waxes, but they'll also use some mineral oil to soften the wax with. Um, like you say, Ruby, it's different abrasives. Um, one of the things Tom was after because of his health issues were ingredients that would not make his health issues any worse. And so one of the one of the things that are can truly be said about Axe is it's 100% food safe. I wouldn't suggest it, but if you really wanted to, you could spread this on a piece of toast and just eat away. Um,
I think
because it is.
I think I'll pass.
I think I will too. I don't like gritty stuff in my food.
Agreed.
I don't like to eat.
Although it might clean you out.
Yeah, yeah, probably would. I don't like eating sandwiches at the beach because invariably your sand will get into your sandwich and you're going to crunch and yeah, I don't like that.
Doug Rogers asking if you have a discount code for AC.
I do. I do. Doug 15 give you
Now, what was that
15%
again?
discount.
Doug
Excuse
15? Was
Doug
it?
15, DOUG 15.
Okay.
That gives you a 15% discount. I know there's a few other folks around that have discounts as well. I've told Tom I'm not I'm not real huge on pushing my discount code, other than if you use it, it lets him know where you got the idea to try some. Um, my thing is that people try it. If you're not using an abrasive paste, try an abrasive paste. Try the Axe. Um, a lot of people talk about, oh, I make my own and all this. I made my own too. I'd rather buy it. it's it's not worth it. It takes a day to make the stuff.
Well, Turned in Australia says his understanding was beeswax is too soft for the grit, so they use carnauba as it's much harder. Um, some do, but I know a lot of them are still using the beeswax, mainly because they have beehives themselves.
That's a lot of it. Carnauba is probably too hard for a carrier for abrasive. Um, they'll use more like a beeswax, and could mix in a little bit of carnauba, like cut and polish. I
Yep.
believe it's got some carnauba in it, but that's supposed to be a one-step kind of a deal.
Well, the carnauba makes a really nice finishing wax.
Yes, which is what the axe polishing and restoring paste is, a carnauba wax. So
And Tony says that he uses beeswax and F2 pumice with
yeah,
a mineral oil base.
there you go. Like I said, I don't, the time it takes to get all your ingredients together and then to heat them up slowly for safety, and then get them all mixed together, and then you got to sit there and stir while it cools so that your abrasive paste doesn't all settle, or your abrasive doesn't settle to the bottom of your paste.
Hmm.
Um, for me, it's so much easier to purchase it, and it's already done. I know what I got every single time. It's consistent.
Yep.
The only thing, the only advantage to making it yourself, and this is an advantage, you can adjust your ratios and make it exactly what you want. I know people that like their abrasive paste to be extremely abrasive at first, and so it's a real thick uh, abrasive paste that they make. Some people like it softer. Um, Same with the wax. You mix your own wax, and you can make it as stiff or as loose as you want.
Yeah, Gav has to leave, but he'll catch the rest later.
All right, Gab, it's good to have
Hi,
you,
Gav.
bud. One of these days, Gab's going to get it all together and he'll start doing his own videos again. He does
That'll
some
be
neat
good.
stuff. He has done some really neat stuff. I'm always amazed at the shine that comes through with just the abrasive paste.
Yeah. Now, what
Problem
are,
is, so too many people see that shine and they're satisfied with it, so they stop. The problem is, because it's an oil and beeswax combination that's the carrier, that shine won't last. It's too soft. That's why you have to come back with a carnauba wax and buff it up.
mhm.
But I'm just about got this where it's coming off clean. That's kind of what I'm looking for, is my paper towel to come away clean, which tells me that I've got all the wax and oil off of the piece.
And Todd's asking if anyone's seen Roy's the Boy lately. Can't say that
It's
I have.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Been a little while. He may be still warm weather, still grass cutting season. He may be busy with his lawnmower stuff. Yeah, we're almost to the point of being clean here. I'm up to 1250 RPMs, creating just a little touch of heat, not much. And all I'm trying to do is get all the wax and oil off the surface.
Mike's got a nice video out right now, turning a cube. If anyone's interested,
Yeah.
that's Dances with Aardvarks.
Here we go. There we go. Now, the one time. Oh, it's not in there. With wax, I typically have a little square of cut up t-shirt in my jar of wax as my applicator. And that's the only time I use cloth in my shop.
Yeah,
Other than
I tend to leave mine in the jar as well.
right. Um, I do it because that cloth, there it is. This cloth will, as it sits there in the jar, it will absorb some wax, and so I don't have to work the wax as much. This this new formulation is quite stiff, and so it takes a little bit of rubbing to get the wax on your applicator, whatever you're using. Um, but if I leave this little square material in here, it will,
Self-absorbed.
yeah, kind of absorb it, and I don't have to rub quite as hard and to get the wax that I need. Doesn't take much. You want a fairly thin coat. You want enough to cover, but you don't want to gob it on. Um, gob it on, it's just that much harder to buff it off.
Now, Mike says he's entering a cubist period.
That's all
And
right.
Turned in Australia says he's heard a rumor that it's hip to be square.
There you go.
So I guess, Mike, you're going to become hip.
All right, we'll give that just. Oh, I know why it's not in here. This is a relatively new jar, and when I tried to close it last time, it didn't want to close.
Hmm.
So anyway, most waxes, like on your car waxes, the tin will say, um, apply the wax, give it 20 minutes till it hazes over, and then buff it off. That's because there are solvents in those waxes. Um, Typically, car waxes have toluene or something of that nature as a solvent. Most, not, I can't say all of your uh, waxes made for wood are solvent free, but Axe is definitely solvent free. I know some of the others are as well. Um, Check your labels. If they don't say solvent free, if they tell you there are solvents in there, um, definitely let those solvents flash off. With this, there are no solvents, so you can put it on, give it just a minute. You don't have to wait till it hazes over, but then you can start buffing it off. And I start typically with just really light buffing. I don't push hard at first. I want to get the excess off and make sure there's a good smooth, even finish. Right
And,
now, I can see, and you can see too. There's a nice shine coming off, and that's not buffed. All I've done is knock off the excess.
yeah. Tony's asking if you use a Beal style system.
I've got it. In fact, it's just off camera to my right. Um, I have used it in the past, and typically what I do now, Tony, when I use it, it'll be a piece that is rather large. Sometimes it'll have if there's a problem area, I'll go back to the Beal. Typically, unless if it's a really white wood, like holly or a nice fresh piece of maple, If it's not one of those two, I will typically only use the triple E. I won't use the white diamond on it at all. Um, I don't even want to use it on. Don't want to use it at all on walnut. If I get the white diamond anywhere near white black walnut, it's there forever. Um,
Yes.
yeah, it gets down in those pores and it just will not come out.
Yeah. And
I've had a lot of trouble with the bill, and it's me. It's my technique. I need to get with somebody who really knows how to use it, um, to teach me the touch on it. I have trouble if I have any finish on a piece and I use the bill on it. I almost invariably will pull the finish off, which means then I have to go back and sand it off completely and redo it.
well, that's why I went to just putting mops in my drill press and then holding the piece there.
Right, right.
I found that was easier all the way around.
You're
And
probably a little slower than my system is. I got a slow speed motor,
yeah,
and when I first got it, I think Beal was saying 1700, and this is a 1725 motor,
okay.
so I shouldn't be too fast. But apparently, well, what I think I'm doing, and I'm almost positive after talking with Billy Burt and a couple other folks, I may not be allowing finish to cure long enough before I put it on the Beal. And then
Yeah.
when I do, I'm peeling that, especially with lacquer. I just peel it right off. It looks horrible.
And Scott's let us know that on the 25th he's going to start doing lives again. That's
Good,
great.
Scott.
Great news, Scott.
Are those going to be pay for IRDs? Or are they just going to be open lives? Or what are you doing? Give some details there, dude.
Enchanted Wood Design says he likes lacquer, but if not careful buffing, you can go through it.
Absolutely.
That's why lacquer I put on at least four coats.
I've gone through 20 coats.
And Mike says that a finishing course with a good luthier would be beneficial, and I think
There
you're
you
right.
go. Yep. Switch cameras here. Ching. There. There you have. I still say it's oak. um, nice rim at the top, curve going down to a nice foot at the bottom. And that foot is just to give a little bit of a shadow line, so it doesn't look like it's coming up out of the tabletop. If I turn it up that way, you might see it just a. In fact, you can't see it better. Oh, there he goes. So still got the tenon and this little. Got the tenon and this little ring to take off. That's not a big deal. I do have to find a center because I didn't have a center point there to do. But that's,
Ah,
in fact, I will.
what I have is I have when my chuck's on, I have a piece made that fits inside my chuck, and it's got a nail through it so that when I just slide it inside the through the chuck, I can tap it and mark the center.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's a great idea.
they do sell one.
Yeah, that is a. You got that little half ring there. That's spalting for sure. Then you got this dark streak going through there. That's either spalting or it could even be where a piece of metal was in this wood at some point.
Hmm.
Another idea that it was
Still looks
that's oak.
like a skull.
Oh, right here.
Turn it upside down, right there. The whole thing looks like a skull.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, the chin here, the head. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. But anyway, that gives a nice shine. I can come back, give this a couple hours for that wax to cure in there, and I can come back and put another coat on it. It'll be even glossier. That works with most any wax, but I really like this Axe Carnauba wax. Oh, I started to say he added twice as much Carnauba into the formula a while back, a year, maybe 2 years ago now, and it really stiffened it up. I like the wax even better now. I liked it before, but I like it better now.
Hmm. And Spun by Green Jeans has joined us. Welcome.
Hey, does that
And Lucy is in. Hi, Lucy.
Lucy? I swear that's oak. I don't know. I'm gonna put
I'm,
fogwood
I'm,
on it,
I'm
but I think it's
starting to
oak.
think it might be closer to beach.
Could be. I just don't know a beach in this part of the world. Um, could be. Could be. I know beach can grow anywhere. And the medullary rays, they run up and down across this rim.
Yep,
I just can't. Anyhow, it's purty, whatever it is. It's tree wood. I'm going to call it fogwood, I think, and I'm safe that way. The
that's
cracks that were in the wood didn't bother me at all. Um, there's some small, like there's a small crack right there in the rim, but it's not one that's going to grow. I don't believe. There's a couple of those. But anyway, there you have it. This will go back to the fella who supplied the wood, came off his farm. He'll know exactly what it is
and you can
because he
find
loves
out
his
and
trees.
let us know.
Well, yeah, if dad remembers, dad will be the one to actually give it to him. But then if dad remembers to ask and then remembers to tell me, um, yeah, yeah, then I can tell you all because I've got three more pieces of it and I think they'll be just as lovely, just as lovely. And it shined up. That ain't half bad for just one coat of wax. That ain't half bad.
Now, Jay
Well,
says it was quick. What are you doing next?
well, it's been an hour and a minute since we came on, so it's not. It's been quick, but it hasn't been that quick. Wayne Clasper would have been done at 30 minutes, and probably done a second one. I could have probably, but I slowed down about halfway through the outside.
Enjoy the process. There's no need to rush.
No, no, that's something I. When I was younger, I used to rush through. Let's get done as fast as we can. But I've learned, especially with turning, just enjoy the process. It's a lot more fun that way. One reason I don't like to do production work, that needs to be done as quickly as possible, or you can't make any money. So yeah, I enjoy the process, and so we'll do it as long as the Lord allows me and gives me the strength to do it. I'm going to keep turning. So it's a lot of fun. Just heard about a guy the other day. He was 90. He just died. 97, 98 years old, and turned the day before he died. So it can be done to your ancient days. So no worries to have to quit as long as you have the strength to stand at the lathe and you can sit.
Yes.
So with that, I'm going to say thank you all to all of you who came along. I am going to go back as far as YouTube will let me and check the chat. Yeah, they typically will only let me go so far back, but I'll go back to the beginning of where they'll let me, and I'll read all the chat. It's a lot of fun to go through that. Do tune in to Zed and see what he's got going on. I do have a meeting here in a little while I got to go to, so hopefully I can read through this chat. I probably won't get to see Zed live, but I'll see him after I get home tonight. I've caught up with my YouTube watching. I didn't have anybody left over, so I've watched them all that I had on my list. So we'll pick up tonight, see what all's going on. So with that, unless there's something else we need to chat about real quick, I'm going to say good night. Well, let's see. If I come over here and click here, then I can click here, and then Ruby can come on, and we can all say bye to Ruby. Bye, Ruby.
Good
And Ruby
night,
can say bye to
everyone.
all of us. And anything else that we need to hit on there, Ruby?
No, I think we've kind of got it covered. Don't forget
All
that
right.
uh, Worldwide Wood Turners is tomorrow night.
That's right. That's right. Um, there's been a couple of pieces of news come out of there. They've been doing the Freedom Pin thing, kind of carrying that on for all of our regular um, military folks. Just opened it up to, oh goodness, now I forgot who it was, Ruby. Who was it we opened it up to last week? Um, two other groups.
I don't remember.
I don't remember now. Holy cow, I was just looking at it earlier today.
You're expecting me to remember, and I'm that much older than you are?
You're not that much older than me.
Quite a bit.
Oh me. Oh me. Anyhow,
Uh,
yes, ice
if
was
you've
one of
got,
them. You're right, Roger and Todd.
I'd
Um,
be surprised if people didn't object to the ICE agents being given pens.
oh, ice and border patrol. That was who the other group
Border
was.
Patrol deserves it.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's who we got. All the military plus ice and border patrol. And I don't know. Periodically, I make one for a nurse or a doctor. So because they're on the front lines too, just a different kind of front line. So anyway,
Um,
with that, I'm going to say thank you all for being here. It's been a fun week. I've enjoyed it. This was a good turn. Um, and honestly, I when I picked that piece of wood up, I had no clue. I thought it was cypress, but then when I cut it, I saw the graining and I thought, nah, I think it's oak, and I still think it's oak. Um,
it's beautiful regardless.
whatever, yes, whatever it is, it's gorgeous. It it picked up a shine for sure, no
Yes,
question. It picked up a shine. Some woods do it better than others, but this one picked up a good shine. There's Chris Walters. Hello, everybody. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Ruby, you want to say good night?
good night, everyone.
All
Take
right.
care.